You can't say the GOAT argument is you got to be the best at these three things, because Jordan's not the best at these three things. That's Scotty picking him up full court. Not Jordan. He was cooking Jordan. It's a flawed argument. It's brought up against you because your entire video is that argument. You guys cannot pick and choose what stats to use and when to use them. Channel, everybody. Not allowed. You know not gonna happen. If you don't know me, I am a React content creator. I like to react to everything basketball commentators, basketball content creators, in the modern NBA in general. And I like to react to brain rot TikTok nonsense. So if you like to listen to somebody talk about nonsense and numb your mind, I'm the guy for you. And if you like to listen to someone talk about basketball and give their insight, I'm the guy for you. But today, we're reacting, okay, to Uncut Hoops again. Now, in a previous video, I went over Uncut Hoops' first video ever that he made, and he gave LeBron props. He talked about how LeBron is one of the greatest players to ever play. He said it's not his GOAT, but he is one of the greatest players ever. Now, what we're doing today is we're looking at a video that was uploaded 5 days later, right? 4 or 5 days later. Let me see, because I had it loaded up. This video, his first video ever made, was made May 14, 2019. This video was May 18, 2019. He uploaded this 4 days later. Let's go ahead and look at this, and let's see the difference between the first one and the second one. Let's get this started.
So, welcome back to the channel, guys. And this video is going to be about exposing Nick Wright and really showing why he's not a credible analyst and why his arguments are generally flawed and misleading. So without wasting much time, let's get started with the video.
Nick, what would it take for LeBron to pass Jordan as the GOAT?
Hold on. Is it purposely frozen? Is this his video or is this me? Hold on. Let me refresh and make sure it's not me. I'm going to have to cut this out the video here. What's the timestamp on my OBS? 151. Okay, is this him or is this me? Refresh.
So, welcome back to the channel, guys. And this video is going to be about exposing Nick Wright and really showing why he's not a credible analyst and why his arguments are generally flawed and misleading. So, without wasting much time, let's get started with the video.
Nick,
Oh, that's...
what would it take for LeBron to
This
pass
is him.
Jordan as
Okay.
the GOAT?
Alright, so if we're talking about accomplishments, he needs at least a couple more.
Just so you guys know, this is his video. I think he just kind of messed up on editing. I'm not hating on him. You know, this is his second video ever made. You're going to have mistakes. It seems like he put a lot of work into this, but let's keep going.
Rings, probably one more MVP. But if we're talking about accomplishments, Jordan's not the GOAT. It's Kareem. And if it's not Kareem, it's probably Russell.
As Nick stated, LeBron does need a couple of more championships and MVPs to be in the discussion for one of the most accomplished players of all time. So that's precisely the reason that Nick tries to devalue championships and accolades, and he just tries to focus on stats. Another one of his tactics are breaking down the three most important things in the GOAT argument, which are awards, rings, and stats. And Nick doesn't look at those collectively. He tries to single those into three groups, and saying that the GOAT argument is purely based on awards is just not true, and saying that it's purely based on rings is also not true. And the same can be said for the stat argument. The GOAT argument is a collective title that you earn by being one of the best at each of those three things, and Michael Jordan is simply better at those three things than LeBron.
That doesn't make sense. This doesn't make sense. You can't... No. No. You can't say the GOAT argument is you got to be the best at these three things, because Jordan's not the best at these three things. When it comes to stats, LeBron leads them in a lot. When it comes to awards or rings, Bill Russell for rings for sure leads them in a lot. Awards, Kareem leads them a lot. Like, there's a reason the GOAT argument, if you want a comprehensive breakdown of a GOAT argument, really it's all opinion based if you really want the true answer, but that's the boring answer, okay? That's boring. We don't go boring here. We go to the wall, balls to the wall, okay? So if you want the fun answer, when it comes to the GOAT debate, we talk about, okay, who do we feel is the best player on the court at all times? Who do we feel is more legendary, best status? Who do we feel is greatness? And in my opinion, that's LeBron. And that's not taking anything away from Jordan. But we can look at stats. We can look at longevity. That does fucking matter. I don't know what to tell you. If longevity didn't matter, you would have every player who's great going on to beat Kareem's record. Okay? Kobe didn't look like LeBron at his age. Jordan didn't look like LeBron at his age. There's no player that's playing at LeBron's age that looked like LeBron at his age. LeBron's 40, putting up MVP numbers. That's what happened. Hold on. I'm curious. LeBron James stats. LeBron's putting up 24.8 points, 51% from the field, 39% from 3, 8 rebounds, 8.6 assists, about a steal a game and half a block a game. That's LeBron at the age of 40! He's 40! So when we're breaking down the GOAT argument, a lot goes into this, right? It's a sit down, it's a comprehensive debate. It's more than just rings. But when you say you have to be better at all three of these things, your argument loses. At least with my argument, you gotta sit down, you gotta debate, you gotta go over each reason why I feel that LeBron's better than Jordan. I can tell you that the level of competition that LeBron faced was just better. I can tell you the fact that LeBron was able to go to 3 separate franchises and 3 separate teams and win. I can tell you that LeBron never needed a system. He was the system, and I feel that Jordan needed a system in order to be successful. I can sit here and have a comprehensive debate with you on why I think LeBron is better than Jordan. But if you're telling me that it has to be awards, rings, and stats, and you got to be the best at all three, okay, then LeBron's not only the best, he's not the GOAT, and Jordan isn't either. Because he's not the best when it comes to rings. That's Russell. So that doesn't even make sense.
LeBron James is. And as you'll come to see, that's why Nick tries to avoid mentioning stuff like MVPs, scoring titles, Defensive Player of the Years, and championships, finals MVPs, because those don't benefit his argument and they don't benefit LeBron being better than Michael Jordan.
So for LeBron to pass Jordan, he needs a time machine to go back about 11 months when he passed him the first time. LeBron's been the best player ever since about midway point of Game 6 of last year's finals, and all he's done since then is continue that.
My motivation is this ghost I'm chasing, the ghost that played in Chicago. So, correct me if I'm wrong, but when you're chasing something, doesn't that mean you're behind? I may be off, and you guys might have to fact check me on that, but I'm pretty sure chasing is when you're behind something.
Okay, this was that's a dumb, okay. Anyway, yeah, someone in my chat just said, King Kev here. Player of the month. Oldest player to do it at 40. Like, that's crazy. 40, dude. Come on now. But nonetheless, back to what he was talking about. This is a dumb point, but let's keep going.
So even with LeBron James saying he's still chasing Michael Jordan, Nick Wright proceeds to say LeBron is the greatest of all time after the 2016 finals. Now, moving on to 2019, LeBron James came out and said that he was the greatest of all time, as you'll see in this video.
That one right there made me the greatest player of all time.
For
That's
so
what
many
I felt.
reasons.
I was just super ecstatic to win one for Cleveland because of the 52-year drought.
I'm confused. Is he doing this for copyright reasons? If he's playing the audio, why can't he play the video? I'm pretty sure he'd be stricken for the audio. No? Whatever. Let's keep going.
Ecstatic. Like, obviously, I showed that the first wave of emotion was y'all, everyone saw me crying. Like, that was all for 52 years of everything in sports going on in Cleveland. And then after I stopped, I was like, that one right there made you the greatest player of all time.
Now, LeBron James said he was the greatest of all time after winning what? A championship. And if I checked last, that is a team accomplishment, and that does go into the rings category. But Nick said that does not matter in the GOAT argument. This is kind of the twisted logic you get in with dealing with LeBron fans, and they can't really keep their arguments straight, and they just kind of mix it up on the daily. Even LeBron James himself was guilty of this. As you saw after the 2016 finals, he said he was chasing Michael Jordan, and then in 2019, he said that he had passed Michael Jordan and became the greatest of all time, which I kind of find funny, considering he's won 0 championships, 0 MVPs, 0 finals MVPs, 0 defensive player of the year, 0 scoring titles, 0 all-defensive teams, and only 2 all-NBA teams since the 2016 finals. So what I think LeBron James did, I think...
What the fuck what was that? What? He hasn't won... What? What is that fucking nitpick shit? So from the span of 2016 to 2019, he hasn't won a championship. He hasn't run an MVP. He got no finals MVP. Therefore, not the GOAT. Like, what argument is that? Oh my God, we're starting to see the downfall of Uncut Hoops. We're in the second video, and we're starting to see the decline of Uncut Hoops. Jesus Christ, from him being his first video wasn't bad. His first video was not bad. It wasn't. If you go back and watch his first video, it was fine. He just sat there and told you about his 5 favorite shots. He told you what he felt his 5 favorite shots were of the NBA Finals of all time. And he said that Kyrie didn't save LeBron's legacy, and Ray Allen didn't either. He actually sounded nuanced. He broke it down. And now he went to say that to LeBron didn't get a championship from 2016 to 2019. Therefore, can't be the GOAT. What the fuck?
I think he really was thinking that he was going to catch Michael Jordan the next year. But Kevin Durant moving to Golden State really blindsided him. So, realizing that he couldn't catch Michael Jordan in 2019, he had to go back on his word and say that he had passed Michael Jordan in 2016. But as you can see, LeBron James himself said he was chasing the ghost that played in Chicago in 2016.
And when we're just comparing the two players, LeBron averages more rebounds, assists, blocks, steals than Jordan. Shoots a better percentage from 2, shoots a better percentage from 3, is the more versatile defender, can guard all 5 positions.
Whoa, Nick, let's slow down here.
That is all true. So let's see what he's going to bring up for arguments. Let's go back and listen to Nick. Let's bring up the 3 points and let's see if he brings them up and he debunks them.
The more versatile defender, can guard all 5 positions.
Okay, let's go back a little more.
Can guard all 5 positions.
That's not going back
Michael
here.
Jordan in 2016. But as you can see,
Comparing the two players, LeBron averages more rebounds, assists, blocks.
Averages more rebounds, assists, blocks, steals than Jordan. Okay.
Percentage from 2, shoots a better percentage.
He's more efficient. Okay.
From 3, is the more versatile defender, can guard all 5 positions.
Can guard all 5 positions. True, and he has. Okay.
whoa, Nick, let's slow.
All right, let's see what he has to say.
So first off, Nick started saying all these stats LeBron beats Jordan in, but it seems he forgot to mention the stats that Jordan beats LeBron in. And when comparing the players up to age 34, which LeBron James is 34 right now, Michael Jordan beats LeBron in points per game, steals, blocks, turnovers, field goal percentage, free throw percentage, and PER. So Nick really didn't want to mention that because that doesn't fit his argument.
What are you doing? Is he comparing seasons? Is he going one season? No, he wouldn't do that. He wouldn't do that because that's stupid. He wouldn't do
Jordan
that.
beats LeBron in. And when comparing the players up to age 34, which LeBron James is 34 right now.
Oh, yeah, he is doing that. Oh, my God. Why would you do one season? One season? We're going season by season. Is that how you want to do it? That's so dumb. That doesn't talk about LeBron leading in all stats. That doesn't talk about... And when you made this video, LeBron was 34. Jordan, 34. It doesn't talk about the fact that LeBron leads in all the steals, rebounds, assists. Doesn't talk about the fact that LeBron can guard all 5 positions. It doesn't talk about the fact that LeBron's more versatile. You take one season, and you're like, look at that. Look at that. Look at this. This is, oh my God, dude. This is your downfall. This is similar to what you did earlier when you took 2016 to 2019 and said LeBron didn't win a championship in this window, therefore LeBron's trash. Like, what are you doing? What are you doing, buddy?
Now, Michael Jordan beats LeBron in points per game, steals, blocks, turnovers, field goal percentage, free throw percentage, and PER. So Nick really didn't want to mention that because that doesn't fit his argument. And as you know, Nick Wright is kind of a clown and he is biased. So, I mean, why would he want to mention that? And the next thing is when Nick Wright says LeBron James is the more versatile defender.
Yeah.
Yes, that may be true. But being the more versatile defender does not mean you're the better defender. If you just use the eye test, you'll see that Michael Jordan is
Sorry, I had to step away for a minute and get some chips and a water. Because if I'm going to listen to some dumb ass shit, I'm gonna want I'm gonna want to make sure that I'm actually somewhat enjoying myself. Did you? I don't know why my computer. Did you really just sit there? Did you really just say, if you look at the eye test, so we can empirically prove to you that LeBron's a better defender, but the eye test is the reason you feel he's not. And don't get me wrong, the eye test can definitely be necessary, especially when you're trying to break down seasons and truly understand the numbers. I can get that. But when we're saying that LeBron is a better defender at all 5 positions, your only rebuttal is look at Jordan. And you know what? I'm glad you brought up Jordan right here, Gordon Magic Johnson. Do you know what Magic Johnson said? Do you know what Magic Johnson said? The reason he felt the Lakers lost to the Bulls in the finals? He said because they put Scotty on him. They had Scotty picking him up full court. Not Jordan. He was cooking Jordan. You know who they had on him? Scotty fucking Pippen. So what are we... Let's keep going.
He's a better on-ball, off-ball defender. He's a higher IQ on defense. And he's just in general a better defender. Also, if you want to look at the accolades...
Higher IQ on defense? What is your proof of that? How do you eyeball test that? What? How do you do the eyeball test on basketball IQ? Tell me. I'm curious. Please tell me that. I'm so curious. That's crazy. What are you talking about?
Side of it, Michael Jordan's a 9-time first-team defensive player, winning a Defensive Player of the Year, compared to LeBron James, only a 5-time All-Defensive first-team player, and he's won 0 Defensive Player of the Year awards. I don't want to hear about 2013. He didn't win it.
He can do it.
But what happened in 2013, bro? What happened in 2013? Why don't you want to talk about it? Why don't you want to talk about the fact that LeBron got all the votes? Why don't you want to talk about the fact that literally, I made this joke before. LeBron was voted best defensive player. LeBron deserved Defensive Player of the Year that year. He just did. It's like, imagine if your boss had you come to work and they're like, we did a whole vote. Everybody thinks you're the best worker this month. Everybody thinks that you've been working your ass off. Everybody around here thinks you're amazing. Can you help us give the Player of the Month award to Jeff? Just a couple people felt otherwise, but It's like, bro, why don't you want to talk about 2013? Do you feel like Marc Gasol deserved it over LeBron? And if you do, defend your argument, because I am curious. You don't want to talk about 2013. You say LeBron lost it. I think he should have won it. This isn't a what if of like, well, Shaq should have won an MVP over Nash. This isn't that type of debate. This is a straight factual type shit that LeBron should have gotten that Defensive Player of the Year. 100%. But you feel like it doesn't matter. He didn't win it. That's fine. Tell me why Marc Gasol deserved it over LeBron and then move on. You can't just say he didn't win it. Suck it. Because you're using it as an argument, a contention of why he's not as good as Jordan. So if that's going to be the case, you got to tell me why the 2013 doesn't matter. You got to tell me. Oh, my God.
Everything Jordan could do, but better.
Now, this is the point where I have to shake my head. I mean, Nick, what are you thinking saying that LeBron James is everything Jordan does, but better? So I'm just going to rattle off my own list. Michael Jordan's a better scorer, offensive rebounder, shot blocker, better at steals, better on-ball, off-ball defense, better free throw shooter, better mid-range shooter, better at fadeaways. He's more clutch. He has a higher IQ. He's better.
Okay. You're rambling. But let's slow it down. Let's slow you down. Okay? He's not more clutch. We can prove that. We have statistics for that. He's not more clutch. LeBron is more efficient. LeBron is the better rebounder. LeBron is the better defender. This is just not true. And you know that's not true. You guys argue that it doesn't matter, though. When you're trying to debate Jordan and LeBron being the GOAT, you argue that it doesn't matter because Jordan played in a rougher and tougher era anyway. Even though Dennis Rodman, his own teammate, talked about how the league was watered down. If you don't believe me, we can go ahead and Google that immediately. Let's see. Just go ahead and type in Dennis Rodman, watered down league. Did expansion create a watered-down NBA during the Michael Jordan era? Okay, where is Dennis's comments? Dennis Rodman made a comment on this. Yeah. I just think the league has really filtered out and diluted itself, Rodman once said. I just think it's kind of hurting the league right now. This is back when Rodman was playing. And this is what Larry Bird had to say. I think the expansion teams really hurt the league. I think it's depleted some of the talent in our league. But he played in a rougher and tougher era. But again, you guys don't even debate stats. You hand that to LeBron, but you say he's like a stat stuffer, so it doesn't matter. But how... You're going with the argument that actually Jordan's better? That's crazy. That's wild work. That's wild work.
Better in the playoffs, better in the finals.
And basketball IQ. Again, how do you know that? There's no... And I could actually prove... You know what? I could actually prove against that. LeBron played on 3 different teams, had different head coaches, and won championships with 3 different teams. Jordan only won his championships with 1. Tell me who has a higher basketball IQ. If I'm able to take one player and put them in multiple different systems, and they're still able to get to the playoffs at least, constantly, get to the conference finals, or win the championship in totality, year in and year out, but I take another player, okay, who can't even scrape up more than 30 wins. Don't tell me that he makes the playoffs, because I know he did with a 30-win team. And then when he gets Phil Jackson, goes on to win championships, and then when he doesn't, and Phil Jackson's gone, and he goes to Washington, he doesn't see the playoffs ever again. Which player are you going to go, okay, high basketball IQ? You're probably going to go with player 1. LeBron. Why? Because he was able to show you I can play in multiple different situations with multiple different teams, with multiple different lineups, with multiple different coaches and coaching staffs and cultures, and still pull a championship. So I can't definitively say that LeBron has a higher basketball IQ, because you can't eyeball that, but I can say that feeds a lot to the argument that he does. And all you have to say is you eyeball it, which is crazy.
Finals and better in the regular season. So after all those things I rattled off, how is LeBron James still better at Michael Jordan than everything? Saying that is a hyperbolic statement. It is really just...
Because you didn't... You're a hyperbolic statement. You didn't prove anything. You just said Jordan's better at this, Jordan's better at that, Jordan's better at this, Jordan's better at that. And that's it. You didn't show anything to back your shit. I was able to say more shit to back my shit. And I could have showed some shit. I actually did show an article. I did more work here than you did in this. You could have showed some shit. I mean, Doritos. I defended my argument more than you did. The hell are you doing? You just rattled off a bunch of shit and said facts. That's how that works.
To get views, and it's using to stir up controversy, and I expect nothing less from Nick Wright. Now, in the next clip, you'll see Nick address the accomplishments, and I'll let it roll.
The most accomplished champion ever is Bill Russell. The most accomplished individual player ever is Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. So it is not an accomplishments discussion. Jordan wins that argument.
So Nick already kind of mentioned this in the first part of the video, but I really didn't address it. So he was talking about the accomplishments and saying that Kareem and Russell are both more accomplished than Jordan. But I kind of went in the vault and I pulled out this old stat sheet I found, and it appears that Michael Jordan does have the most trophies in NBA history. And some would argue that the Finals MVP was not around in Russell's day, as well as the Defensive Player of the Year. So that does give Jordan the edge. But I mean, let's say Russell wins 5 Finals MVPs out of 11, and let's say he's a 3-time Defensive Player of the Year. That only gives him the edge over Jordan by a little, which I mean, that's...
What? That only gives him the edge over Jordan by a little? Like, it still has the edge. You can win by a mile or an inch. That's the edge. Who cares? What the fuck is this dude, bro?
That's not much when you consider the totality of a career. And if you want to say the same for Kareem, I feel like he would be still below Jordan when it comes to being accomplished. But we have to deal in reality, and the reality is that the Finals MVP and the Defensive Player of the Year were not around when Bill Russell played, and they weren't around for the first 12 years of Kareem's career.
Yeah.
And something I'd like to point out is that Kareem Abdul-Jabbar won 6 championships, but he also was a Finals MVP only 2 times. So 4 times he wasn't even the best player in the Finals. You can't say that for Michael Jordan. Also, on the last 2 championships he won in LA, He was a borderline role player. I would say in 1987 he was not a role player, but 88 he was definitely the third or fourth option on the team, which that was never the case with Michael Jordan. Also, when you dig deeper into Kareem's legacy, you realize in 1976 he won the MVP despite his team not making the playoffs. So imagine that happening today. That's impossible. That doesn't happen in 2019 or even in 1992. That's just a little asterisk and a little context.
Yeah, imagine a team. Yeah, it's so crazy that Kareem got that MVP with 17 wins. That's disgusting. That's so dumb. By the way, imagine a team only winning like 30 games. That would never happen in 2019, making it to the playoffs. Imagine. Just imagine. Imagine that happening. Imagine. Can you guys imagine? Are you guys imagining it? Can you imagine? Oh, you don't need to imagine it? Why? Because I'm showing you it? Oh, that shit's crazy. 38 games? Making it into the playoffs? That's crazy. Oh, that's crazy. Imagine a team who just won 38 games the very next season winning 30 games and making it to the playoffs. Imagine that. That shit would be crazy, right? That shit would never happen. Oh, wait, it did happen? Oh, who was on the team? Jordan? Oh, that shit's crazy. By the way, this is not me. I'm being a little bit of an asshole, but this is not me trying to take away from Jordan and his accomplishments. I want to make that clear. The only thing I'm doing is I'm showing the discrepancy that he has. He wants to sit here and like dissect Kareem to try to prove that Kareem can't possibly be more accomplished than Michael Jordan. He doesn't talk about Kareem as far as him in being accomplished in college, by the way. But he wants to sit here and dissect that. But then he doesn't want to be nuanced with Jordan, who, by the way, 2 seasons, below 40 games, made the playoffs. Put this into perspective. LeBron James won more games with his team and missed the playoffs. Lowest amount of games that LeBron James ever had. With Jordan making the playoffs at 30 and 38. Isn't that crazy?
Have to have when evaluating Kareem, because he does have a few black marks that you have to address when talking about accomplishments. And I will stand by that Michael Jordan is the most accomplished player in NBA history. And just to add to the last part of the video, Nick Wright says that Jordan wins the accomplishments angle when talking about him versus LeBron, and that's obvious to anyone who watches, but what Nick does is he tries to just use that accomplishment and just kind of throws it away because Jordan wins it, and he just focuses on other things besides accomplishments. He doesn't understand that accomplishments are part of the GOAT argument, and when you're evaluating the GOAT, you have to include those. And I know I'm kind of repeating myself, but I have to make that clear to people watching the video and to all the fans who kind of buy what Nick Wright is selling.
Question is, who's better at the sport? Who is? Aliens come down to Earth. They say you got first overall pick for the fate of humanity. Who's the #1 pick in world history? And the answer is LeBron James. And to be totally honest, you can pick the year. You want year 3 LeBron James when he led the league in scoring. You want year 15 LeBron James when he's averaging a career high in assists and field goal percentage. You pick the year because not only is he the best player ever, he's had the longest prime ever. But now that we're at game 1072, let's just do a tale of the tape. LeBron has more assists. LeBron has more rebounds. LeBron has a higher field goal percentage. LeBron has a higher three-point percentage. LeBron has a higher box score plus minus. LeBron has a higher value over replacement player. LeBron's been to more NBA finals. LeBron has more everything in the playoffs. So statistically, here's what Jordan's got. He's scored more. Yeah, inefficiently compared to LeBron because he shot more.
First off, we're going to address the total stats argument. And Nick was really disingenuous when he started rattling off the stats. As I'll show you on the screen, Michael Jordan at 1,072 games had more points, steals, blocks, turnovers, field goals made, free throws made, higher PER, and more win shares. But as you'll come to see, Nick Wright...
Okay. What? I'm curious. Hold on. What did you say? Give me a sec.
Thing in the playoffs. So statistically, here's what Jordan's got. He's scored more. Yeah, inefficiently compared to LeBron because he shot more.
First off, we're going to address the total stats.
Okay.
And Nick was really disingenuous when he started rattling off the stats.
Right.
As I'll show you on the screen, Michael Jordan at 1,072 games had more points, steals...
At 1,072 games. Why are you... You're so nitpicky. I don't understand why you're nitpicky. I'm very confused on that. Very, very, very confused on that. Oh, you gotta talk about the fact that all the plus my everything that Nick Wright brought up. No, you want to nitpick the games, and then you want to say that, see, LeBron can't be better than Jordan. X equals, I don't know what the fuck I'm talking about. Come on, bro.
Blocks, turnovers, field goals made, free throws made, higher PER, and more win shares. But as you'll come to see, Nick Wright does like to admit that, and he only focuses on the things that LeBron wins. And when I do my comparisons on Twitter, Instagram, whatever, I always include as many stats as I can, even if they don't favor Jordan, because I like to give the other player a fair shake when I'm doing the assessment of who's better. Now, the last part of that video, that's the part that has me shaking my head. So, apparently Michael Jordan is an inefficient player compared to LeBron James.
Okay. 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 All right. So, LeBron James, for his career, 50% from the field, 50.7% from the field, 35% from three, 54%, and his effective field goal percentage, okay? This year, he's averaging higher than that, but that's for his career. Jordan, 50% effective field goal percentage, 32% from three-point land, and field goal percentage is 49.7% for his career. So, yes, LeBron is better from the field than Jordan. He's more efficient. Now, you got free throw percentage, that's true. But from three is more efficient. From the field, he's more efficient. His overall effective field goal percentage is better. That's just facts. That's just a fact. But I am extremely curious on how you're going to attack this one.
But let's just do the comparison and look at their field goal percentages up to the age of 34. And as you'll see, Michael Jordan does have a higher field goal percentage. And even if he
What the fuck? Why? What are you doing? What do you mean? What? What the fuck? What do you mean? Why are you taking one season? What the hell is wrong with you? Why are you taking one? Why are you taking one? You talk about it in a totality. What is wrong with you?
want to look at that and you want to say, oh, excluding the Wizard years is not fair, I'll even throw those in and it still only drops down to 49.7%.
So, he said, if you want to include the Wizard years, you know, if you want to include the years he fucking played, it drops down. It's only 49.7, but 50.5 to 50.4, Jordan's way more efficient. 50.4 to 49.7, bro, it's, come on, what are we talking about? It's not that big of a difference. Come on, bro. There's no way.
Down to 49.7%. So, Nick, you're going to tell me based off 1% that makes Michael Jordan an inefficient player? So I'm just going to try to use some logic here. So if Michael Jordan shoots more times and he still shoots around the same field goal percentage as LeBron James, doesn't that mean Jordan is a little bit more efficient as he's able to...
No, that's not how that works. That's not how math works whatsoever. I can't believe I got to break down math for you. Jesus Christ. Okay, guys, we're going to break down math because I guess he doesn't know how math works. I haven't pulled out the sketch pad in a while. Well, let's go ahead and pull out the sketch pad. Okay? Didn't think I had to do this. If one player is given, I tell them both of them, they got to hit 80%. They got to hit 80% to make the team, right? But I tell one player he's got to hit 80% out of 10 shots. And I tell the other player 80% out of 100. Oh, fuck. That means this player can only miss 2 shots to hit 80%. And this player can miss 20 and get 80%. So, it wouldn't mean that Jordan is more efficient whatsoever. He had more opportunities to take it, more opportunities to miss it. There wasn't a lot of wiggle room for him to fail. Here, there's a lot of wiggle room for you to fail. You can only miss 2, and you're dipping below 80. Do you get the difference now? Do you understand? You can miss 20 shots and still be at 80%. You miss 2 shots, you're at 80%. But if I just tell you that both of these players are at 80%, and that's all I'm telling you, that doesn't really break it down. So yeah, Jordan shot a lot more, and he had a lot more chances to keep a good percentage, and he still did bad. Compared to LeBron, who shot a lot less, a whole lot less, and has a better field goal percentage. That is how basic math works. I'm glad I was able to break that down for you. You're welcome. Salute. Hopefully you were able to understand the argument moving forward. Okay? 10 shots, 2 misses. 100 shots, 20 misses. Which one do you think is easier to get the 80%? Huh? Huh? Just saying. Just throwing that out there. Let's keep going.
To keep that field goal percentage at the exact same point as LeBron James while taking more shots. Also, let's understand that LeBron James shoots about 70% of his shots inside the lane compared to Michael Jordan, who shot around 40% of his shots in the lane. And that's a huge difference when talking about field goal percentage. And Nick really doesn't want to bring that up because it doesn't support his argument. As I've said before, he only focuses on things LeBron wins.
If you didn't have any of the data, because Chris, some of that data is the 6 championships. That might be basic data, but that's just data. And you just watched these 2 guys play a game. Who do you think you would say is better? The guy that's bigger, the guy that's stronger, the guy that's faster, the guy who can jump higher, or the other guy? So without any data, LeBron probably wins the eye test. And then the data also all supports him. Like, does that weigh anything to you?
I promised you guys I'd keep this video mainly focused on stats because that's what Nick Wright likes to do. But in this argument...
Bullshit, homie. Get the fuck on. Who the fuck do you think you're fooling? Get the fuck out of here. I mainly keep this argument based on stats. You literally said Jordan had a better basketball IQ because of eye test. Now you want to say, I just want to keep this focus on stats. Who the fuck do you think you're fooling here, bro?
Nick really does try to use the eye test, and his beady little eyes obviously can't see well because Michael Jordan is undoubtedly a more skilled basketball player. If you wanted to call LeBron James more talented and more raw talent, I guess I could see where you're going, but in my opinion, Michael Jordan is the more skilled player. And addressing what Nick also said when saying that LeBron James is bigger, faster, stronger, etc., that's actually not true. Michael Jordan was faster. He had a 4.3 40 time as recorded by Dean Smith at North Carolina. He has a 48-inch vertical, which tied with Wilt Chamberlain for the highest ever in NBA history. And as I said before, basketball is a skill game. It's not the Olympics, Nick. We don't look at players based on how fast or how strong they are. If we did that, Giannis might be the greatest player of all time. See, basketball is not based on pure athleticism. It's based on skill. So in this next clip, I'm just going to go a sidetrack from the GOAT argument, and I'm going to bring you a little Nick Wright exposed when talking about basketball in general.
Okay.
You're disappointed in me.
Yeah, it's odd that I get to be the parent to your son in a moment, but I'm not mad. I'm just disappointed, Colin.
What did I do?
I'm watching Speak for Yourself a couple days ago.
Yeah.
And I see that I am now the last remaining person on the island. You have abandoned the island that obviously the Cavs are going to be champions, and now you're joining everyone over on Warriors Island. And I would just like to, for a moment here, remind you, we are watching the greatest basketball player ever.
You can't say that.
Playing his best basketball ever, and you are now picking against him. That is what you're doing.
I just want to be right.
Well, I would say, if you want to be right, going with, I'll say it again, the greatest basketball player ever, playing the best basketball he's ever played.
I'm so curious on what he's about to say right now. I am so curious on what he's about to say. What do you guys think he's about to say? He's obviously talking about 2018 Bron. He's talking about the super team that is Golden State. I am curious on what this guy's reaction is going to be. Let's go.
Is a pretty safe space to be right.
There it is. Redemption for Golden State. One of the great playoff runs of all time is complete.
Well, this goes to something that I keep saying, and people really struggle with it. I was on a radio show.
You're known to do that.
Over a week or two ago. It was in Cleveland. It was Ohio. And I said, just pause for a second. Take away being embedded on whatever side you're embedded in. Tell me now what Michael does better than LeBron.
Okay. So let me make this part clear. LeBron has not accomplished all the things Michael accomplished. But Michael didn't accomplish all the things Kareem accomplished.
And when I hear them say, what is Jordan better at? That just makes me wonder, have you ever played basketball before?
Have you? I promise my fat ass plays more basketball now than you probably have in your life. And again, you don't have to play basketball to know basketball. You do know that, right? Like, I'm gonna keep it a bean with you. I'm gonna keep it a bean. Keep it a bean. Hold on. This is no disrespect, by the way, because we love Wendy. We love Wendy. Okay? We love Wendy. We love Wendy. Okay? I love Wendy. I respect him. We all love Wendy. Great analyst. You think this motherfucker plays ball? You think he balls? You think he balled? I'm gonna be honest. I don't know Wendy's game like that. Maybe he was a fucking stud when he was younger. Could have been an NBA fucking pick. Just like your uncle at the Y. I was an NBA pick and I tore my quad. Maybe. But I'm gonna keep it a bean with you. I'm just gonna be honest with you. I think he just talked basketball. That's what he did. That's all he did. And you know what? He never played. But you don't have to play basketball to know basketball. So let's get that out the way. And secondly, I'm going to be honest, you don't sound like you played basketball either. But maybe you did. But I don't know what that had to do with any argument against Jordan and LeBron.
I mean, have you ever played just a rec league, anything? Do you know what the objective of the game is? I'm not saying winning is everything when evaluating players, but we do have a scoreboard, and when evaluating players, the scoreboard does matter. And the last part I'd like to say is that when he says Michael hasn't accomplished everything that Kareem has, I mean, you could easily turn that around and say Kareem hasn't accomplished what Michael has. Kareem doesn't have
what?
A defensive player of the year. Kareem doesn't have 6 finals MVPs.
You just said that the defensive player of the year wasn't there for most of Kareem's career. So why would you tell me Kareem wouldn't have a defensive player? It's fine.
I mean, you can go on and on about things that Michael accomplished that Kareem never accomplished. Kareem never won an MVP and a defensive player of the year in the same year. Kareem never went back-to-back twice. Kareem never did any of that. So saying that Jordan did accomplish what Kareem accomplished, I mean, you could really twist that and use that for any player. I could say that LeBron James never accomplished what Larry Bird.
Yeah. No he's unironically proving Nick's point. Isn't that crazy? You're so blinded by your anger and your rage. You have no idea that you are proving Nick's point. Nick's entire point, if you go back and listen to what he said, okay? You know what? What were we at? 1607? Let's go back and listen to what he said. Let's go back and listen to what Nick said.
You're known to do that.
Over a week or two ago.
Let me make this part clear. LeBron has not accomplished all the things Michael accomplished.
LeBron has not accomplished all the things that Michael has accomplished.
But Michael didn't accomplish all the things Kareem accomplished.
You are literally proving his arguments. What he's saying, that you don't understand for whatever reason, is that LeBron gets put on this pedestal of you didn't accomplish what Jordan accomplished, therefore you can't be better than Jordan. And what Nick is saying, I think that's a ridiculous argument, because we could say that Jordan didn't accomplish all the things that Kareem accomplished. Kareem didn't accomplish all the things that Bill accomplished. But we don't evaluate it like that when we're trying to figure out the GOAT, because you can nitpick, like you say. You can take players and say, you didn't do all the things this player did. You didn't do all the things this player did. You weren't a shooter like Bird. You weren't accomplished as Kareem or Michael. You can play this game all day. And that is what Nick was saying that you failed to understand.
Accomplished what Larry Bird accomplished when talking about winning 3 MVPs in a row. So using that argument, that's also kind of flawed, as you can use that for virtually any player.
No shit, it's a flawed argument. It's brought up against you. Because your entire video is that argument. Are you kidding me?
So the last thing I'd like to show you guys is actually an Instagram post from Nick Wright in his show First Things First. And on this post, as you can see, it says Kobe and Duncan each have 5 rings. Duncan has more MVPs, more finals MVPs, more winning seasons, more 50-win seasons, and he never missed the playoffs. And he did it all without a player close to prime Shaq. Now, I'm not using this for a Kobe versus Duncan argument. I'm using his logic for saying that Duncan is better than Kobe and trying to apply that to the LeBron versus Jordan argument. So let's try that, Nick. Let's use your same logic when comparing LeBron and Jordan. Isn't it funny, though, how when talking about Kobe and Duncan, he really doesn't use the eye test or anything else that isn't subjective. He uses facts like rings, finals MVPs, etc. MVPs, or championship. That just goes to show you Nick knows those things matter, and that's one of my favorite things, exposing the double standards and obvious bias that these people in the media have. They'll make an argument for one player using a set criteria, but then turn around the next day and completely throw away that criteria to say that another player is better than this player. And it's really just absolute bias, and it just shows that these people don't know what they're doing, and they're not really held accountable. So that's the last thing I'm going to expose Nick Wright on. And next, I'd just like to show you again the stats when comparing LeBron and Jordan from their rookie years to age 34. I'll remind you, LeBron James is 34 right now, so this is a fair comparison. So
when did Michael Jordan retire? When did Michael Jordan retire? When did Michael Jordan retire? Did he retire at 34? Did he stop playing as a Chicago Bull? You guys cannot pick and choose what stats to use and when to use them. Not allowed. Not gonna happen. Not on my watch, bucko. You cannot sit here and say that LeBron missed the playoffs at the age of... How old was LeBron when he missed the playoffs with the Lakers? Back, that was in 21, right? She was like 36, if I'm not mistaken. But you want to use 34 and say you're done. We're done. But I can't say, but you hold it against him that LeBron missed the playoffs at 36. Fuck that. You hold him against him that the age of 39 that he lost against the Nuggets. And at the age of 38. You hold that against him. That he lost. But you want to only use stats that go up until Jordan is 34 years old. And you want to stop. This is the whole problem when it comes to this debate between Jordan fans and LeBron fans. If you want to say that Jordan is the GOAT, that is fine. I don't have a problem with you. It's when you are so bad faith when it comes to your arguments that it's hard to talk to you about it. You want to sit here and nitpick things about LeBron that you're not doing with Jordan. You want to spin narratives in your favor that you don't do with Jordan. And then you want to tell me I can't talk about Washington. He played. He played the game. Like you guys love to say, he played 82 of those games. One of those seasons, 82 of those games he played. But I'm not allowed to talk about it? Why? Seemed healthy enough to play 82 games. So why can't I talk about the Washington season? Oh, because it doesn't fit the narrative. Got it.
Michael Jordan averages more points per game, more steals, more blocks, less turnovers, a higher field goal percentage by 0.1, despite being a more inefficient player, a higher free throw percentage, and a higher PER. So this is the end of the video. I hope you guys liked what I tried to do and expose Nick Wright. His arguments are kind of confusing, and if you're a younger viewer and you watch his show, you may think what he's selling is actually truthful, but You'll come to find out Nick Wright is really slick in his arguments, and he tries to bend them to benefit his points.
You did that this entire video. By the way, Nick Wright has Duncan ahead of Kobe. That's not me, but he does.
And I used to kind of believe Nick Wright, and I used to say LeBron James was the GOAT. So that gives me...
Bullshit, bro. You used to say LeBron James is the GOAT? No, you didn't. Your last video, you literally said he's not your GOAT, but he's a great player. Oh, fuck. We're seeing the slow downfall of Uncut Hoops as in real time. In real fucking time.
Some perspective on what people think when they say LeBron James is the GOAT. And it's pretty easy to debunk all of his arguments if you use facts and logic. So I'm gonna...
The facts and logic? By the way, guys, IQ, basketball IQ, you can use the eye test. But facts and logic, but basketball IQ, eye test, bro. Eye test.
I'll leave you guys a little bit of a quote. And that quote is, I can explain it to you, but I can't understand it for you. And that really applies to this video, as I can only expose Nick Wright so much. His arguments seem solid at first, but once you dig deeper, you realize they are really flawed. And you have to be open to understanding that his arguments are flawed, because if you aren't open to understanding that, you'll never truly realize that Nick Wright is selling you a bunch of garbage, and he's not really telling you the full story. So, with that being said, this is the end of the video, and I'll see you guys next Saturday.
That's crazy. What a crazy video. What a crazy video. I said everything I needed to say. We're starting to see the slow decline of Uncut Hoops, one video at a time. But until next time, my friends, you guys got some content you want me to react to, please let me know. If you like the content, please like, comment, subscribe. Peace out. Love you. Be safe.